Curious about what really happens behind the scenes when you switch on a light or plug in a device? Most people use electricity every day without ever understanding how it actually works. It's something we depend on constantly, yet for many, it remains a complete mystery. And that gap between usage and understanding often creates a sense of dependency, relying on systems without knowing how they function. For those who feel that curiosity, there's a more hands-on way to explore it. Instead of just reading theories or watching explanations, this type of digital learning approach focuses on doing. It introduces a small experimental generator model that you can build step by step using simple, commonly available components. The goal isn't complexity, it's clarity. The guide provides structured instructions along with visual diagrams, making it easier to follow even if you don't have prior experience in electronics. Each step is broken down in a way that feels manageable, allowing you to gradually build confidence as you move forward. You're not expected to know everything in advance, you learn as you go. What makes this approach different is the way it turns abstract concepts into something tangible. Instead of trying to imagine how electricity flows, you actually begin to see it through the components you assemble. Elements like coils, capacitors, and basic circuits are introduced in a practical context, helping you understand how they work together rather than in isolation. As you progress, you start to notice patterns. You see how energy moves through a system, how different parts influence output, and how small adjustments can change results. Concepts like current flow, voltage behavior, and energy conversion begin to make more sense, not because they've been simplified, but because you've experienced them directly. This kind of hands-on exploration often leads to a deeper level of understanding. It's no longer just about following instructions, it becomes about curiosity. You begin asking questions, experimenting, and thinking more critically about how electrical systems operate in everyday life. That shift from passive learning to active discovery is what makes the experience valuable. Another important aspect is flexibility. Since everything is delivered digitally, you're not tied to a fixed schedule. You can learn at your own pace, revisit sections whenever needed, and take the time to fully understand each step before moving forward. This makes it especially suitable for beginners, hobbyists, students, or anyone balancing learning with a busy routine. Over time, what once felt complicated starts to feel more approachable. Electricity becomes less of an abstract concept and more of something you can observe, test, and understand. And with that understanding comes a sense of confidence, not necessarily in building advanced systems, but in knowing how the basics work. For many people, that's where the real value lies. It's not about creating something large or complex, it's about gaining insight into something that plays a role in everyday life. When you understand even a small part of how energy systems function, it changes the way you see the world around you. If you've ever felt curious but unsure where to begin, starting with a simple, guided, hands-on approach can make all the difference. It turns learning into something practical, engaging, and far more meaningful than just theory alone.